So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these with our JS3200 Makita shears. This is a power shear. The shear goes up and down with these square blades, and it's rated for 10 gauge. So there's actually a little gauge on the side. Now that gauge is for mild steel, but it'll do up to 16 gauge stainless. This is 18 gauge stainless. It's kind of my go-to tool. It's a great shear. You can cut curves in it. These teeth are have 4 cutting sides to them. The teeth can cut straight. Depending on how you align the teeth in the machine, it'll cut left or right or straight, just like a set of shears that you'd have for metal tin snips. It's a great tool. I've been using this tool now for about 15 or so years, almost every single day. And extremely durable. I've dropped it, I've smashed it, I've at least dropped it off the table at least a dozen times over the years. The casting has never cracked or broke. The plastic has never cracked or broke. It stays tight, it stays strong. The teeth stay locked in place. They're adjustable, so you can adjust the throat of the teeth and and for the thickness of the material and that type of thing. And it's a wonderful tool. So I make all my parts out of this tool. If they're really tight curves, you can do it in multiple cuts, and what I like to do is if it's something that's subtle, I'll cut it close to the line, then I'll take it over to the grinder, and I'll just subtly work my way up to the line if I want a really precise piece. But these are pretty generic pieces, and I should be able to cut them almost accurately with this machine. Then I'll just use the belt sander for a quick cleanup around the edges and clean up any burrs and sharp edges, and then I can start working with it, and you'll see what it does. What's nice about this machine is it makes a clean cut, a straight, clean edge with no contamination. When you're using water jet, when you're using plasma to cut parts out like this, you're burning it, and you're using sand abrasive to cut it. And what it does is it contaminates the edges. So when you cut pieces that aren't cut with a power shear like this, you've got contaminated edges that you have to clean up by grinding afterwards. And if you don't, you're going to get porosity and contamination in your weld and on your weld edges, and it'll come out into your weld and potentially come out into the future product and cause rust. So I really like to use the shear. It's a nice clean cut, clean edge. It's quick and fast. The more you use it, the faster you get. And we'll just get cutting, and I'll show you how it works. I like to rough cut it, get the pieces separated, and then I can come back and take my time and do a nice clean cut. A little bit of a tight curve in here. I've left a little bit of a gap. I can go to the belt sander now and just take off that little bit of extra and fine tune that curve to where I'm happy with it, and leaves a little bit of a sharp edge, but as you can see, it's a pretty nice controlled clean cut. And the more you work with this machine, the better it is. If you get sharp edges where you're cutting corners that are really tight radiuses, you just hit them on the grinder. You leave the corner proud a little bit, and you just hit it on the grinder and follow the line to a nice round corner. Again, not a perfect circle because it's such a tight radius, but again, I'll just clean it up on the belt sander and put the radius in it and tighten this curve up a little bit on the grinder, a little bit of cleanup, and we're ready to bend.